How's it going, everyone? It's Than from Advanced Reef Aquarium, and the topic today is ATI T5 bulbs. This is the first time in a long time that I've actually thought about T5 bulbs, so I felt really out of the loop as far as which bulbs to try and use. There are plenty of descriptions online for the various ATI bulbs, but really, it's difficult to get an idea without actually seeing the bulbs in person. Hopefully this video comparison is the next best thing. So real fast, ATI makes 5 different flavors of T5 bulbs: True Actinic, Blue Plus, Coral Plus, Purple Plus, and Aquablue Special. Now let's take a moment and talk about each one. The Aquablue Special is the closest ATI comes to a full spectrum bulb. Its spectrum is still very blue heavy, but has a 550 nanometer green peak as well as a 640 nanometer red peak. The green peak is significant because the human eye is very sensitive to green light, so corals illuminated under this bulb may appear more crisp and well defined. Next up is the Blue Plus. This is arguably the most popular bulb made by ATI, and for good reason. It is a very aesthetically pleasing bulb that does a great job showing off the fluorescence in coral. It's often described as having a clean blue appearance, which is reasonable considering that it lacks almost all the yellow and red phosphors. As you can see from the wavelength chart, it has a lot of activity going on from about 400 to 500 nanometers, with a big spike at the 440 peak and another spike at the 550 peak. Next is the Purple Plus. If you've been in this hobby long enough to remember a VHO actinic bulb, it has this kind of purple appearance. This color is achieved by blending the red and blue wavelengths. You can see that there's actually very little violet light in this bulb, as its spectral output drops off sharply as it approaches 400 nanometers. Still, if you like the purple aesthetic, this bulb gives you that more than any other that ATI makes. That brings us to the most recently developed bulb by ATI called the Coral Plus. It's essentially a blend of Blue Plus, Aquablue Special, and Purple Plus. You can think of it as an Aquablue Special with more blue and red with a little less green. You end up with a balanced standalone bulb that retains some of the aesthetic of the Purple Plus that we just talked about. I've saved the most interesting bulb for last, the ATI True Actinic. It has a very unique spectral profile as seen by this enormous curve that peaks around 430 nanometers. Our eyes don't see this kind of light very well, so this bulb to the naked eye looks very dim compared to the others. Although we can't see it too well, it does not mean that our corals cannot. Both chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B have huge, and I mean huge, absorption peaks between 400 to 450 nanometers. I'm curious to see how this bulb affects the health and color of my corals over time, as it's providing such a unique spectrum. Now that we've covered some of these bulbs individually, let's see some side-by-side comparisons of these bulbs. You can easily see what a difference bulbs make on the appearance of coral. That isn't even considering what these corals will color up to when grown under these lights. The comparisons here were shot at about 30 seconds apart, and some of these corals look like they're completely different specimens altogether. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a better idea of what to expect from this type of lighting. In part 2, I'm going to do some comparisons of popular bulb combinations, so stay tuned for that. In fact, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can get notified when those videos are ready to go. Until then, I want to know what T5 combinations you have tried. Post those in the comments below. If you'd like a little more information on these bulbs, please don't hesitate to check out our website, www.advancedreefaquarium.com. I've also included links here to some of our other recent videos, including the latest update on Paul's tank featuring his new ATI power module light. Thanks again guys, until next time.